Where else do I use the Bono tools? I use it as a class teacher. For example, when students are in their last year, we discuss where they should go after they finish high school. I tell them to make a list of factors that influence their choice of school or job. Then they mark those that are important to them. This helps them to choose where to go next. One of our students said, "How would we educate if the online classrooms broke down?" We wrote what is an immediate positive consequence, what is an immediate negative consequence for students, teachers, parents, principals, and so on. Then we discussed what is the positive and negative consequence after 1 month and after 1 year. The students came up with different ideas how we can educate ourselves. A student of another school made a suicide during school time. The comment was, "Why does everybody talk about it, even those who didn't know him? We talk about it who was affected by the event. How does the event affect his schoolmates, his family, his friends, the students of his school, other teenagers, parents of other teenagers, the police officer, the community, and so on?" How do I use the Bono tools as a math teacher? For example, after they finished first grade, we discussed what would be the advice that they gave the next generation, how to do math really well, how to be better at math. We made a list of factors that influence on our knowledge. They marked those that they can influence. The result was a list of how to learn math that I use for the first grade. I use the tools when there are different ways to solve a problem. I show them how to solve a problem in different ways. Then we discuss which way was better and why. Then we discuss how can we apply this to other problems. Is there a rule? For example, when we do the system of equations, there are 3 different ways and 1 way works every time. My first question to them is, which way should I learn first? Why did we learn other ways? Then we discuss if we want to be really good at math, we also have to be fast, and that's why we learn other ways, because some ways are faster than the other. I also ask myself, what can I do so that they can be better at math? I give every student an extended time on the test. They don't do their homework. What can I do? I ask myself why. One of the answers was because they don't know how to. So now I plan my lessons so that we do our homework at school. This way I can help them and I can find the weak student faster. Before every test, I tell them which exercise to do first. I show them how to plan learning for math. I also use the tools as a physics teacher. I didn't teach physics for 7 years, and after I educated myself on the Bono tools, I decided if I'm gonna teach physics again, I'm gonna do it differently. So my first question to me was, what is the most interesting thing about science? And the answer is observing and exploring. This is also the skill that a kindergarten teacher must have so he can teach others. I plan my lessons the way that they can do a lot of experiments and they can learn physics through observing and exploring. Then I ask myself what we don't like about physics, and the answer was math. And then I ask myself, can I explain physics without using math? And when is math important? So now I explain physics only with words. I use math when we measure and do data analysis. For example, we measure a mass of a toothpick in 2 different ways. First way is we measure the mass of one toothpick one at a time. Then we calculate the average. And the second way is we measure more than one toothpick at a time and then we divide it by number of toothpicks. After we finished, we discussed about the different ways of measurement. They had to name 3 positive, 3 negative, and 1 interesting side of each measurement. I also asked myself, what did I notice when they were doing the measurement? When we were discussing what we learned, They listed more things than I did. The next time that we saw each other, we were discussing what was the purpose, what was the goal, and what was our achievement. What did I gain as a teacher when I'm using the Bono tools? I was always creative, and I rushed into the projects. I rushed into making a change. Now I use the tools to slow down and think things through